Yo, beautiful people. Shalom. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday, the 24th of January, 2024. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture, as defined by the culture. How's everyone doing, man?
I'm good. I feel like you missed one out there. I don't know who or what religion or what culture it was.
I did a big three.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to everyone else that got missed out and all that. I'm good. Another morning and all that. How are you guys?
Yeah, can't complain. I just realized we have not introduced ourselves.
This is true.
Just in case there's some newcomers.
Yeah,
you
you never know.
We are hosted by the very best.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? They call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst. And of course, the melanin is jam-packed.
My name is Rich. Today, you can call me Sir, Mr., the big man, my man, all of them old school. Yeah, that's it. Simple as.
All right. Brents, how are you, man?
Morning, all good. Thank you very much.
We thank God.
We thank God for that.
Before we begin, of course, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, hit the bell icon, everything. Yeah, man, everyone good?
Yeah.
I'm all right, yeah, but this morning, obviously, on my way here, I kind of, you always get to see different things when you're on the way on the train or driving or whatever. And I just, not that I suddenly realised, but I come to my mind that I really dislike lack of manners. Like I really dislike, okay, for example, you're driving, you see someone at the, about to cross the road at the zebra crossing, you stop for them. It's not that you expect them to say thank you, because you didn't have to stop, but obviously you did stop. More times some people do say thank you. Every now and then, it's that one person that just looks at you like...
Entitled.
Just what I'm saying. So when I see, no matter what, it could be big, it could be small, no matter how the significance, if you ain't got no manners, I'm just looking at you like why? What happened? Who raised you? Come on, man. And it's free as well. Just what I'm saying. Like, manners is free. It's okay, but the lack of manners can cost you a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Just what I'm saying. So which one would you rather,
Would you feel some type of way if, for example, obviously you're somebody who obviously has got manners, right?
Clearly.
But let's just say you're in your own world. You're on the phone, you're doing something, you're thinking about something. Somebody, holds the door open for you. You just walk right through and somebody's like, look at this guy.
I've done that by accident before. And then the guy was looking at me strange. I think, why is this guy looking at me? And then he said something to me. And I go, I'm sorry, I apologize. I got manners. Just I'm saying that, but that's me, as you just said, that's me in my own world. And I didn't realize. More time I would say, like that that's happened once in my big old age. Just what I'm saying. So
you wouldn't feel offended if somebody like kind of corrected you, like, come on, man. Where's the manners? Or would it depend on how they say it to you?
I wouldn't mind if someone corrected me if I was in the wrong 100%, because I've corrected people before. I'll be waiting. No, scrap that. I'm waiting to get into Tesco's. Someone's coming. Obviously, we're both about to walk in, innit? I think this guy's with his girl, and we just come back playing football. And this guy's like, we're both about to. So I move to the side. I let the guy go and all that. They walk out. Oh, you're welcome. So, sorry. No, don't worry about it. I was cracked on. I've done that a couple times. I'll correct you. Don't think you could just be out here in these streets willy-nilly, no manners, and the manner savior over it. No. You're not doing that with me. I'm not doing that with me. Because you can't be entitled around me. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you entitled?
I hear you.
Like, come on, man. As I said, manners is free last time I checked. But you want to be rude. We can be rude. We'll see how that goes. We ain't doing that. Nah, man. I don't care who you're with. Like, if you're with your kids, I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah.
We'll look at you strange. But manners is manners. Just saying.
I hear you.
Just saying.
But how do you feel about manners, man? You don't mind? You mind your business?
Before I respond, good morning, Loch Ness. Good morning, Drew Dogs. Good morning, Paul Powwow. Good morning, Oyen. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Izzy. Good morning, Taufik. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And good morning, Lala Pink Flower.
Pink flower.
Yeah, she's got a little
What's the name?
icon next to it.
Okay.
So, good morning, Amy. So when I was telling you that thingamajiggy yesterday, good morning, Everest. I realized that you were getting really like perturbed with, well, not with, but on my behalf. When I was talking to you about the possible disrespect that was like shown.
Yeah.
Like it's as though you wanted to just jump into my past
You
and
know
beat
where?
people up.
I'll be honest with you. You know where it is. Yeah, I think someone was saying. I think it was Andrew Tate. Not that we take heed in anything he says, but he just made a point. He was saying that disrespect makes people do wild things. Like, and obviously, I'm not taking no disrespect for no one just because, you know, we're adults. If you say something to me, I'm gonna listen to you, whether or not I agree with your opinion. I'm not gonna disrespect you, X, Y, Z. But then when people say stuff, or they're speaking from an ego point of view, I don't have to deal with your ego. Well, I'm an adult. Like, we can have a conversation without there being ego involved. That's okay. Last time I checked, it's okay to leave your ego at home.
Oh, yeah.
Don't hit me with ego. I'm not the person to hit with ego because it's either going to go one of two ways. We're just not going to have this conversation, or it's just not going to turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out because of your ego, not because of me. And I think Jay-Z was saying that once it's your ego against my ego, you're just measuring whose dick's bigger, basically. That's long. What are we doing that for? That's nothing gets done. So if you're going to hit me with ego, I have to see that as disrespectful, especially if I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you and you're telling me certain things. When Brent was saying this to me yesterday, I said, my chest. I wasn't even in the room. This conversation happened ages ago and I was getting heated. Just what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't get upset for like stupid things or, but disrespect, don't do that, man. Come on, man. We're cool people. Let's laugh. Let's joke. Let's have serious conversation. Let's move forward. Uplift, as we said yesterday. But you want to try to hit me with ego? I'm not the guy, man. Please, man. Please, man. Oh, I don't know, man. That's how I felt, Brent, man. I'm just saying that. Obviously, you're a good dude and all that, and probably a better man than me because I would have said certain things. But obviously, we have to think about the bigger picture moving forward, and that's important. So, yeah.
Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, KJ Arts. Good morning, Nightfall. Good morning, Crowd Crew. And Just Show. Right,
Beautiful. We've got a lot to get through, man, in minimal time.
Nothing new there, then.
And we've got a topic of the day that I'm glad you guys are here for, man, because I definitely want to get you guys' opinion on this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We definitely, not to sound sexist or misogynistic or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the latest label is for me. But it's definitely a conversation that the men need to have, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
As well as other women as well, but certainly the
The
men.
women will chime in anyway.
Yeah. It will make sense when we get to that part.
Yeah, no problem.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Brent, if you don't mind, let's move on to the headlines.
Is that our Amani in the chat box?
Let's see.
Saying Manin. Why is it Amani? It should be Doctor.
Yeah, doctor.
For real.
Doctor,
for real,
change
for
that
real.
immediately.
You know what I'm saying?
Change it.
All right. So first headline. It seems like there's some potentially internal civil war in the Tory party, man. The former cabinet minister, Sir Simon Clarke, has called on Rishi Sunak to resign as Prime Minister.
Really?
Yes, the MP said that the country was on the brink of being run by Keir Starmer's Labour for a decade or more. And if Nigel Farage returns to the fray, as looks increasingly likely, extinction is a very real possibility for our party. These are his strong words, man. His intervention comes amid a number of struggles for the Prime Minister, including falling approval ratings and unhappiness, within his party over the Rwanda deportation plan for illegal migrants. Sir Simon was one of 11 Conservative MPs to vote against the Prime Minister's Rwanda bill last week. Sky's political editor, Beth Rigby, heard last week that several letters of no confidence in Mr. Sunak had been submitted to the Backbench 1922 committee of the Conservative Party, and a minimum of 53 would need to be sent in to trigger a leadership contest. I don't see that happening.
No, I don't
close
see it.
to.
I don't see it happening.
You know what I mean?
But
Another general election.
Yeah, but there's not a time limit on when they can hand in the letters, so they can get 3 in the next however long.
Yeah.
You know, they can get 4 every day for the next, and then he's in trouble. But I don't see it happening.
It would, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like Labour's definitely going to win anyway. But if they do that, then it's guaranteed a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a leader. The people need to vote for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, they need to use common sense and just stick with it, man.
Tories.
You know what I mean? Next headline, and according to reports, the Houthi Foreign Affairs Ministry in Yemen wrote a letter telling British and US aid workers to leave the country within the next 30 days. It was sent to the country's United Nations coordinator. The letter also said aid organizations should not hire any employees with British or American citizenship. It comes after the UK and US launched a fresh set of strikes in Yemen on Monday. The Defense Secretary Grant Shapps said the latest round of attacks were in self-defense and would deal another blow to the Iranian-backed militants. It follows 7 rounds of airstrikes on Houthi military sites by the US in recent days and comes after the UK took part in an initial joint strike operation earlier this month against the Houthis.
Yeah, that's when it's time to go. They gave you 30 days. You better be out there in 10.
No, but they can't. We were just talking about disrespect earlier. They, at least according to the media, you can't believe the media, you know what I'm saying? No. Unless it's TDA. But,
of course,
you know what I'm saying? But it looked like the Houthis started it. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing all that type of stuff to innocent civilians. You just want to trade.
100% you can't. But at the same time, they're telling you to get out of the country. You're not going to... If you're telling me to leave your house, why am I going to stay there?
Because when you was there... You showed respect. You were minding your business. You were watching TV, eating your biscuits and tea that they, you know what I'm saying, that they offered you. And then all of a sudden, someone comes and kicks your leg off the sofa, even though they told you could sit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on there? And obviously, this is at least it seems linked to the whole Israel Hamas.
But it's still their house. That's what I'm saying. No matter what happens, it's still their house, and you're gonna listen to the owner of the house, right? So, okay. Well, hypothetically speaking, worst case scenario, they stay after 30 days. Then what? They can't be guaranteed safety, no?
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all. We'll see what happens, man. On our last headline, same region, and the Israeli army says that 24 of its soldiers were killed in Gaza on Monday, which is the deadliest day for its forces since their ground operation began. That includes 21 reservists who died in an explosion likely caused by mines that Israeli forces had placed in 2 buildings to demolish them. This is according to the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces. The IDF later said that rocket-propelled grenade fire triggered the explosion. A spokesperson said that a militant squad surprised the force with RPG fire. The first rocket hit one of the buildings in which explosives had been laid out. The hit apparently led to the explosion that caused the collapse of the building and the building next to it. So this is how, basically, their own people died. And according to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry, 195 Palestinians had been killed in the past day. It doesn't look good, man.
Don't.
You know what I mean?
It really don't.
Yeah.
You know, whilst playing that video you heard when you walked in, it just dawned on me that obviously we're living in this particular event right now. But because of how media is set up these days and how for the next 100 years, maybe 200 years, the amount of coverage that is going to be accessible in that particular time period, Israel's never going to live this history down.
Nope.
This part of history, they're never going to be... they will never be absent from people reminding them.
This is true.
And it's crazy that they have been the victims of said atrocity during a time when you didn't have so much coverage. So everybody's looking at you, and you've continued to do what you're doing, not knowing that 1,000 years down the line, people are going to be like, hey, remember that time when Israel was doing the same thing they were accusing such and such of doing.
Do you think it's a case of them not caring though, as long as they've got the land?
It's highly possible. I don't think Hitler cared when he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah, man. I think they're thinking it's worth it.
The thing is, because there's so many players in this who they will have long memories and the ability to spin whatever narrative for as long as they want. This is never going to go out of humankind's consciousness and memory, like ever. And it might even overshadow the first. It might even overshadow the first. Again, like I said, they're very creative with the storytelling these days, right? And I know there's going to be Netflix documentaries off the back of this. Not just
100%.
Netflix, there are going to be other broadcasters coming out to say, all right,
Start making films and all sorts. But even if they'll make a film, like where does it stop and start? Like at what era? What year? Just what I'm saying, it's been going on for so long. I don't know, man.
And obviously the video I was watching, like they really want Netanyahu out, right? But nothing's happening.
Boy.
I think some of them are conscious that they're saying this stain ain't gonna ever come out. Like ever. In their lifetime, never. In their children's lifetime, never.
Yeah, definitely. They're conscious, but I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the majority are thinking, you know what? Hamas attacked all of us as one. They made no distinction between the right and the left. So for now, let's just leave Netanyahu in, you know what I mean, in power. Even though, like you're saying, a lot of people are saying that he should just step down. But if he steps down, what does that look like, though? Like, will the IDF kind of just lose their way? Will, like, who's going to take over? You know what I'm saying? Like, would the focus really be on getting Hamas out of there, which is what everyone in the cabinet seems to want?
Obviously, the past Israel PM that was getting interviewed in that particular video I'm talking about, he was there saying, yeah, for next year, I hear you. We'll be in that military back and forth. I hear you, right? This is because we started, we're here. But at least come out to say, look, it's going to take a while, but we are going to be moving towards a political approach of a two-state government, right? So if it is that you let people know that's what we are working towards, this particular period over the next year or so of military conflict is going to come across as harsh. Do you understand? Because people may see it as, you're just making sure all of the Hamas, people are moved. But he's not even looking to do that. He really, really is saying, all right, I know you want me out, but whilst I'm here, let me live up my entire best life.
Yeah. I think he's been Prime Minister 5 times,
5 times?
I believe so, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is his 5th time.
Isn't that like a record or something?
He's moving like an African. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on over there, but I think so. I could be wrong, but I believe this is his 5th term. Yeah, man.
He's never leaving power.
Well, he's going to have to after this, though, definitely. But I think like Brent's saying, while he's there, he's trying to make sure, you know what I'm saying, like his presence is felt. At least that way, I think in years to come, decades to come, like he will be remembered as the one who kind of got rid of Hamas. I think that's maybe what he's thinking is.
He's trying to leave some kind of legacy.
Yeah.
Imagine that this is what your legacy is marred by. Absolute madness.
But yes, that's it for the headlines. Let's go into topic of the day.
Encourage some men to call in.
All right, people.
I thought I'd whisper that whilst nobody could listen, but there you go.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, right? Like I said, everyone, this is a very inclusive show. So everyone can
Very inclusive.
you know what I'm saying? So men, women, and in between, all can call up, right? But when I get into this topic of the day, I feel like it will make sense why I'm kind of speaking to the men first. You know what I'm saying? But I by no means mean it in any type of crazy way. This is literally for everybody because everybody can contribute. And history has shown that everybody has contributed. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't mean no disrespect. But this topic of the day, I thought would be good to ask you guys because according to a military chief, right, in the UK, he's basically saying, and his name is General Sir Patrick Sanders, right? He's got a speech today. And in that speech, he's going to be stressing the need for the government to mobilize the nation. Mobilize the nation.
Okay.
In the event of war with Russia, right? What he's basically saying is, like he's already been critical about the amount of troops in the UK kind of decreasing in size over time and things of that nature. But he's basically saying that people really need to shift in their mindset. The mindset of the average regular British citizen needs to, their mindset needs to change because mentally we need to be prepared for the eventuality that a war with Russia could take place. And what he's basically saying is, are we prepared, number one? And number two, what would that kind of look like?
Okay.
This is a real situation. So, we've had the hypotheticals every now and again, but this is a top-ranking military chief saying this. So the question is to the room, are you guys prepared if, for example, a similar situation, God forbid, like in Israel, where reservists are being called up, regular people with regular jobs, they're asking, guys, to protect your nation, because as much as we criticize Britain, you guys all hold British passports, right? And this is what it will be.
Some of us.
This is what
correction.
This is what they'll say, right? Are you prepared to fight?
It's funny. I was talking about this the other day, literally maybe no more than 2 days ago, and I was basically saying that in terms of this country or island, whatever you want to call it, if you take away Wales and Scotland, it's very, very small. And if we're in another part of the world and certain things happen, I don't know, like a tsunami or torrential weather, we're finished. Anyhow, when I was speaking about war, I was saying that other countries have like underground bunkers for some of their citizens, but for the elites, they have places they can go. For the average everyday man, there's not somewhere they can go if something happens. So in the eventuality that something happens, other than high ground or the countryside, like London is finished straight away. You don't even have to hit London directly. You can lay something in the water and then, it'll get flooded. But in terms of war, most people are not ready for that because think about it, in this stage or period in time we've just had a king. We've never had a king in this country. So that's a new thing. All the wars that we've ever seen are wars on TV across the land. So most people, they're living in a what's the word I'm looking for? A false what's that word? When you're basically they believe they're safe because of the country that we're in. And I was looking at another map.
False sense of security?
False sense of security, that's it. Well, I was looking at a map the other day where most of the wars have been since the dawn of time, and they've all been here. Like I'm gonna send you this map, Brent. Like a map of the world, and it shows you where all the wars have been. This country's had hell of them, and in my mind, I'm like, hold on. The way the youth are now, not even just the youth, the way the society is now, I'm gonna say 90% are not ready for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe even 95. But if you sit down and have this conversation with people, some people will be like, okay, cool. I kind of knew that X, Y, Z might happen. And if you look at all over the world, there's too much stuff going on for it not to hit over here. Do you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, in the next 5 to 10 years, there's a strong possibility that, something might happen.
Because we know Putin is a serious guy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So, and like you said, when we just even in our own lifetimes, like when you look at the amount of situations that this country and the US together have been in,
loads.
Just by law of averages, something may come.
Just
come
what I'm saying. At some point in time, even if you get rid of 70% of your enemies, there's 30% out of there that are like, yeah, I'm waiting, biding my time, X, Y, Z. Now all these countries are just. They've had enough. Look, you see South Africa siding with Russia.
Yes.
Like, so, and that's a conflict in itself in terms of like Africans and black people, because I understand why the South Africans would side with Russia. I get, but as a black person in England, like some people might be torn, which is cool, and some people are like, wait, I don't want to get hit with someone else's shit just because I'm standing here.
Yeah.
What can we do though? We're in this country.
This is it.
That's what I'm saying.
This is it. This is why I'm posing this question to everybody, because, like you said, everything for most of us is here. So as much as we can say, yeah, we'll go back home, or we'll do, like, it will be a huge change.
If anything happens, over here, there's no real way out, because there ain't gonna be no flights, let alone. You think you're gonna have time to go on your app and book a little ride in the air?
Yeah, it's true.
Nah. If you ain't, even if you got a private jet, most flights will get grounded from airstrikes. And come on, man.
The only way I guess you could escape is if it was asylum seeker and sent to Rwanda.
Even then, like, what? Who are they letting out the country when stuff is going on actively in the country? The first thoughts is to defend the country. So that's why I say, like, you're gonna have to go to higher ground or go to the countryside. High ground because of the floods, countryside because the capital's a dangerous place to be. Any capital's a dangerous place to be when war's going on. So, all you people that wanna stunt and this and that, and life might look a bit different in a couple of years.
You're definitely right about the capital stuff, because obviously, again, because World War II seems kind of far removed from us, we forget that a lot of London was bombed. You know what I'm saying?
Bombed to bits.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? We don't really know about that. But before I move on to you, Brent, I just want to read a bit more of the article, right? So basically, with the British Army being reduced to its smallest size for centuries, the Telegraph understands that General Sir Patrick, who has been openly critical of troop cuts, wants British men and women to be prepared for a call-up if NATO goes to war with Putin, right? It comes after a senior NATO military official warned that private citizens should prepare for an all-out war with Russia in the next 20 years. So again, some of us may be okay because we'll be up in age, right? But this is important information for our children, right? And what they're saying is this would require wholesale change in our lives. Admiral Rob Bauer said that nations needed to be prepared to find more people if it comes to war and to consider mobilization, reservists, or conscription. So mobilization is basically just the government, you know what I mean, like organizing all the troops to get ready. Reservists is like similar situation in Israel with the average citizen minding his business, and you're kind of the reserves. You basically caught up when necessary. Conscription, though, is compulsory. So this
Listen,
is,
if they bring that in, a lot of people are doomed because they don't want to. I've heard people talk about they should bring back the national service anyway, just for the youth, and I kind of understand why that would make sense. But conscription, there you go. The army chief, however, says that he wouldn't support conscription. Right, this is what's being understood, but he believes there should be a shift in the mindset of regular British people who, where they think more like troops, who are mentally prepared that war with Russia could happen. So, Brent, hearing all this information, what's your thoughts, man?
Am I going to war?
I mean, in 20 years.
Nope.
Listen, nope.
In 20 years, obviously, it won't be, I guess, I'm kind of looking at the extreme if it was in the 20th year, right? But let's just say it did happen at a time where our age fell within those.
Yeah, I think there would quicker be civil war than the world, the civilized, quote unquote, civilized Western world, and its citizens return to the madness that we've seen depicted in history.
Why do you believe that?
Because I think at this stage right now, I think a lot of people are kind of questioning the ethics of people in power. And they have been for a little while, right? I mean, we just went through COVID, and right now we are kind of we're purveying all of the investigations and hearings that are now being rolled out, and we're seeing the wickedness of man meaning just mankind during that particular time, the ones who are in power. I don't think that if you now, as the government, ask people to go to war for you, to fight for this idea that we've just seen has been perverted, I don't think there's anything other than some sort of civil unrest. I told you about the story about that man last week when I went to Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, they bear them. They bear them deep state mother effers, right? So they'll be loud, and they have platforms to be loud from. Back in the day, they didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't see it going down the same way as it was when there wasn't a way to connect ideas that should be amplified.
Can I throw something back at you? We spoke just a few minutes about Israel. Remember, like, many people don't agree with Benjamin Netanyahu, right? But a lot of them are just saying, at the end of the day, let's unify because we have a common enemy.
As in Israelis?
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's as accurate as it was on the actual day or the day after. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, even if that's the case, let's just kind of put ourselves, God forbid, in that situation where something's occurred, right? And even though we may not agree with Sunak or maybe Keir Starmer, whoever the leader is, if we're seeing that rockets are being launched all the way from Russia, right, or one of their allies nearby, and it's killing people, we're seeing this on BBC and Channel 4 and TDA, right? How are we going to respond? Are we going to respond by saying, well, it's you guys fought in power, or are we going to actually
when
mobilize?
you say we, are you talking about the white Brits?
Yes, the average
So
person.
I should now speak for the white Brits, right? I'm cool. Some of them who, I guess, glorify and romanticize this bollocks, they might be like, yeah, sign me up, please. I've just been dying to basically go and waste my life. But I'm not sure if the majority are on that, because, but we have Netflix, HBO, we have all these particular DSPs that have shown us what it was like and the mistakes that were made.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is that we will quickly just run back into that.
But is it a case of running back into it, or is it a case of being forced and dragged into it?
Again, I am not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere.
So if they come to you, Brent, and be like, Brent, we need your expertise in the field, this is compulsory, you ain't got a choice, what are you going to do?
How does it... Make it compulsory to me. Threaten me.
As in...
I would take away your British passport. Cool. I have my...
No. Forget the passport, we're putting you straight into jail.
I'm going to jail then.
And then even then, remember, I swear that it was America or someone that were talking about taking people from jail to the war. Anyhow, some kind of...
and then drop me off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I'm going to fight.
So say that, they're like, listen, we're taking you to jail. You're like, okay, cool, I'll go to jail. You get to jail, a year later, they said, all you jail man, coming to war anyway. It's no win situation.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. You know, I'd rather fight those who come to put me in jail than Russians. Just done.
Interesting. Okay,
all I'm saying, all of this stuff is a possibility.
This is what the channels are trying to.
I'm not surprised.
Whoever's called, can you call back, please? I'm gonna engage the phone now. It's engaged now. Thank you.
It's a crazy time, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, guys. Black Rob here.
Are you answering the call?
Black Rob, we need your help.
Nah, fuck that. I'm not doing it. You know, with these things, I'm going to get into my conspiracy bag right now. With these, like, whenever they're trying to conscript people, it's like they know that we're more cynical as a generation because of like fake news, AI. People ain't war propaganda doesn't work as effectively as it did in the 40s. So right now they're doing a nice approach. They're asking us. When that doesn't work, they're going to do the harsh approach, which is going to be a false flag.
I agree.
Do you know? Have you heard of Operation Northwood?
No.
So basically, during the Vietnam War, they were trying to get the public on side to go to war with Vietnam. No one was having it. Everyone's like, "Nah, leave them alone." So then all of a sudden, a boat, American, got sank by the Viet Cong, near Vietnam, and then everyone was on side. Then they found out that it was a false flag, and nothing ever happened. And so if they're gonna try to get Brits to and then if you're gonna go into 9/11, let's not go to that. But like if you want to get the Brits on sides to join the army, you need a false flag. They're gonna something random's gonna happen in Durham or some next place, and then they're gonna do a propaganda machine, and then everyone's gonna be like, yeah, fight for your country. Look at what they did to all your boys in Durham, and then they're gonna get people on side. That's the way they do it. It's always fair. Fair's the best one. Look at the whole thing we were talking about the other day with Philly and Punks. They're trying to use them. That's a soft approach still. They're like, okay, they're trying to encourage you through Fortnite. Fortnite, yeah, not gonna work. Trying to, they're doing a soft approach now. They're gonna amp up the ante once people are like they're still not jacking it. So eventually they're gonna do a false flag, and that's when you know things are getting serious. They get closer to the time. Also, if you wanna get deep, and I know Brent would like this, there's this guy called I forgot his name now. I think it's Alfred Pike or Albert Pike.
Yeah, the Freemason.
Like some occultist from from time ago. He wrote like a book where he talks about there's going to be 3 world wars, and he wrote this book like a couple hundred years before the first. It's like the 1800s. He wrote a book about 3 world wars that are going to happen, and he explained specifically how they're going to go down. The first one he actually explained in detail, like, oh yeah, we're going to do it this way. The second one's going to be between like it's going to be about like the Europeans and Judaism, all that stuff. And he said the third one, and then he goes into detail about the third one. So the first 2 he got bang on. The third one hasn't happened yet, but he goes into detail. Read this manuscript about the wars and then see how accurate it was. Look at the year he wrote it. This has nothing to do with wars. Have nothing to do with nation upon nation. It's all about depopulation and occult and all that type of stuff in it. So I'm not playing any part in that. They'll throw me in jail like Muhammad Ali. I'd rather do that. I'm not putting my life on the line for like a fake war just so they can depopulate the world so they can do all that NWO stuff. Anyway, that's me.
So you feel like every war is like this or just majority?
Yeah, most of them. The 90% of them, yeah. 90% of them are always set up by like it's like what these even this whole Russia Europe stuff is like. You know, okay, let me go. I know I'm going off piss and stuff. Like, do you know the Ukraine stuff? It's kind of crazy that it's interesting. The whole Ukraine
stuff.
Not
here, brother. You ain't gonna get no pushback over
here. Yeah. Do you know the? Yeah, I can go off. Do you know the Cuban Missile Crisis started because Russia wanted to put military bases on Cuba, which was too close to America, so they can launch missiles.
Yeah.
Ukraine is the exact same thing. Russia said, "Yo, stop getting close to our borders," because it's the exact same thing. But because Russia ain't got the propaganda machine to actually explain what they're doing, they looked at the aggressors, but they said, "Yo, stop getting NATO too close to our borders. This is the exact same thing we did in Cuba. Yep. You got a bit antsy because we had our militaries on your doorstep, and you're doing the same thing. Create a little bit of a buffer, and we won't go to war." America and Europe just ignored them. Kept getting cozy with Ukraine, got closer, and Russia's like, okay, cool, you ain't listening. We're going to war. Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly what it was. So it's all about that. It's all propaganda. It's all about proxy wars and all that stuff. So if you're going to put your life on the line, at least World War I and World War II, there was a little bit more of like the PR was a little bit better because they had one narrative. Oh, we're stopping the Nazis. Obviously, there's more to it than that, but it was an easier thing to sell here because there's so much like intricacies and there's so much news that people are available to. Everyone realizes now everything is more grey than it appears to be when media was consumed by only a certain amount of channels. You can't make people think everything's so black and white now. So even the person that's like that would be more likely to join the army would be like, there's a bit more nuance to this, and you can't get someone to give their life to something that's nuanced. Do you know what I mean?
So you believe that it may get to the stage where conscription is the only way to get everybody into ranks?
So no, they're going to try conscription. People aren't going to have it. Then they're going to do a false flag.
Okay, and you think that's going to work?
History repeats itself. Every time there's a false flag, conscription goes high, increases, and then and laws that reduce our rights are increased. Patriot Act in America, more subscription after 9/11. Vietnam, more subscription after Vietnam, and more laws that reduced our rights. Like every time there's a false flag, it's the most effective way.
Do you feel like we have the wrong mentality though? Do you feel like at the end of the day we're human beings, right? Regardless of the agenda, the people at the top, right? There's always going to be conflict, and so if we are citizens of a particular nation, right, we should kind of I don't know, rise to the to the call, or do you feel like everyone
No,
go on?
that is the exact propaganda talk that like it's not a given that there's war. You know that, right? It's not a given. Like if you look into every 90% of wars, there's always like a invisible hand of like some CIA operative or some most people. Yeah, something. There's always something. Do you know what I mean? Look at all we know of Iraq and Iran now and all that stuff. Did you know, like in the 70s and 60s, their society was like pretty much like good. Like look at Syria in a quick turn. Like it's not a given that war happens. Wars are, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of these things we've been conditioned to think, this is just the way the world. Like economic boom and bust. These are just the way things are. No, they're artificially created. But because it's all we've known, we think it's just the norm.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Appreciate the call, Black Rob, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, cheers, guys.
Brent, I just sent you a picture on the TDA Instagram.
Yeah.
When you get a chance, you can. Okay. But I feel like at some point in time they're gonna try and get people. And it's funny that he's saying that about the whole Philly and Chunks thing, because I saw that the other day and I was like, yo, I didn't. Do you know what I mean? That's like a very, very soft approach. At some point in time, they're gonna crank up the efforts to get people in, especially if they need to change the mentality. And there's a bag of people, like a whole generation of people that are like, nah, I'm not going.
It's not there.
It's not there.
It says no longer.
Hello.
Good morning,
Hello,
Sally.
Good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning. I'm very well. How's everyone?
We thank God, man. We can't complain, man.
Fantastic. Now, you see with this whole draft thing, I find it very interesting because my first question is, okay, who are they going to draft?
You.
No. Wait. Why me?
Okay.
Why
not?
not?
No. I'm not asking age groups.
Okay.
What sex? Is it everyone, men and women? Or is it just the men?
I can't speak for the women. But I know they're going to be drafted in men. So.
And according to the
Okay,
article,
they're drafting in men now.
according to the article, those generals, admirals are basically saying that men and women
It's anybody.
ought to prepare. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, mentally.
I don't think they'll be specific.
Yeah.
Okay, men and women.
Just one
okay.
body.
You don't mind that one. You don't mind that one.
No, because I had my plan already. I was thinking, okay,
where
they come,
he's
they knock
gonna
on my
go.
door. They say we're taking the men. I say, oh, sorry, I transitioned, I transformed. I'm no longer a man, and then that's it, finished, khalas. But okay, if it's the men and the women as well, then that's a bit different. That's gonna be a first.
I mean, you could identify as a lizard or something.
Or identify as a chair.
But that's an option these days, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. And the boy, you ain't got to move unless someone moves you. That's it.
We are finished.
Yeah, 100%. We're finished.
We are going to go and fight Russia with an army of identifying
trans chairs. Yeah.
Wow, this is what you woke up for. This is what you want to use this time on air to do.
Oh man!
No, but Sally,
It's
if this was a real situation in the next 5 to 10 years, how would you respond?
Me, myself personally, I think. Well, you see, the thing is, obviously, anyone would like to say that, hopefully by the time that happens, I would have preed it from before and I would have packed my bags and I would have been somewhere else. But things don't work like that, because when the first lockdown started, no one even, I even thought that was a joke before it came about, and then it came about and we were here. So these things really sneak up on you. Yeah. So how would I'm not going to lie. Obviously, I don't want to go to war. That's not my story. Have you seen that movie, Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might have to play some games, man. Hide and seek.
So you're going to go AWOL, basically?
I'm not saying that.
Because they're going to try draft you in, man. They're going to try drafting everyone. If you're fit and able, you're on the way.
If you want something great, you got to try your best, man. So these people, they're going to have to come with their A game, I think.
Would you definitely, I guess, like Brent and Black Robert said, like just choose prison over going to the front lines?
Choose prison. Nah, that's not really my story either. But
let's
been watching.
Yeah, go on.
Have you seen the show called Alone, or like Bear Grylls?
Bear
these
Grylls.
shows?
I've seen Bear Grylls.
Yeah,
I've seen Bear Grylls. A couple episodes.
Yeah, because I've always been a massive fan of Bear Grylls. So in the years I've been watching his videos, I've taken on a lot of
Are you taking notes?
A lot of notes.
Sorry, can you just give us context as to what
so
Bear Grylls is?
Bear Grylls, he's a guy, and he does like survival videos. So he goes into the woods or wherever it is, and then he shows you, okay, so now you build your hut like this, and then you start your fire like this, etc. It's made like scout stuff.
Yeah.
He lives in the wilderness, basically.
Yeah, different environments. It might be in cold.
He doesn't live in the wilderness, but
he
shows you how to survive.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna have to just like do a bit more research.
But Sally, the reality is, the country, like the countryside, is not just going to be full up of like hundreds of thousands of men doing Bear Grylls stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the authorities would just go there. Right? Just catch you guys.
All I know is there's going to be pure brothers in the woods hiding.
No, but Eman, you see, you just said it. That's the thing. I'm not talking about the country and hundreds of thousands of people doing what I do. You don't have to do what I do. You guys go and you can either pick prison or the war. But me, myself, I know where I'll be.
No, the reason why I'm saying that is because the reality is there may be many other people who are thinking similar to you. You know what I'm saying? Like millions, I would say, will probably stay, especially if they succumb to the propaganda. Others will will just go prison, and others will try and live in the wild like you, right? You know what I'm saying? So the people will just come and just collect everyone wholesale, right? But I don't know, like try and imagine that going into the wilderness, hiding in this country, right, where we've got like bloody infrared stuff where they could just find the heat from your body and know where you are immediately. Heat maps, thank you. 4G, all sorts of stuff that none of us have really tried or been prepared for, right? You can't just.
There's only so much hiding. There's only so much hiding you can do in England.
Precisely, you know what I'm saying? So let's just say
it's a small country.
This is it. So let's just say like your home country. You're from Ghana, right?
I'm from Ghana and a few other places. Ghana, Uganda, and Oman.
Okay. So imagine all those countries now are in situations where their leaders have made deals with the UK, where anyone who has citizenship over there can't go there, right? Because they can kind of foresee everyone trying to run back home, right? And so you're stuck. And it literally is a situation where it's like, look, take up arms or go prison. And if you go prison, you guys are going to be fast tracked to the front of the battle. Like, what do you do?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I know, obviously, I've kind of limited the choices here, right? But I'm just kind of.
I can see that though.
You know what I mean?
I can see that. As much as it sounds crazy and limited and hypothetical, I can see that. Like, remember, if they're trying to strong arm people into changing their mentality, they know at some point in time, look, they looked at COVID, they saw people were like outside in lockdown and this and that and blah, 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 blah. They're going to be like, wait, okay, let's try the soft approach. The soft approach won't work. We're going to try the super hard approach. So even if you do go jail, you're getting fast tracked. Like,
wait, I've got a question because, and this is for like everyone that's listening, because I studied history, so I know how they fought World War I, World War II, but obviously, like we currently do have wars going on. But how are they really fighting those wars? Because back in those times, obviously they had the trenches, so there was literally like a front line. But now I thought it was just like missions that they go on and like targets that they go to like. Targets that they target and like specific people and like points of interest and things like that. So they can't really put you on the front line for that, because for those things, they're sending the best of the best. If they send these people that weren't even trying to go there anyway, and they say, okay, go and like assassinate this man, and how do they know that what you're going to do when you get there? But you might just go and put down your gun.
I think
start drinking tea.
They need the numbers, bro.
Yeah, and I think it's
the
also
numbers,
because...
numbers don't mean shit if no one's listening to you.
No, but remember, Sally, like you just rightly said, like I guess you're thinking about like Afghanistan, Iraq, and them situations there, right? Where, like you said, people just go on missions, and you know what I'm saying, like. But compare that to like World War One and Two, right? Remember, the entire nation was brought up into this, and this is what these generals are saying. Like, this can't just be a case for those who have signed up to the army on their own volition, right? This is a case where we actually need numbers. We really need numbers. So if there is that type of situation, it won't be a specialized thing. I mean, there'll probably be specialized teams doing this, that, and the third, but they'll definitely need real like numbers, people pushing forward.
They're gonna the whole reason for them doing this is because obviously, as you said earlier on, the decrease in numbers, they need people through the door. If there's no people through the door, how do you fight a war with no army? It just don't make no sense. So,
no, but the thing is, but this is what I don't get though, because okay, now I have never personally thought that drones were a good thing. I think they're terrible. Like in terms of it, when you have drones, you've got the leg up. You've got no physical people, no physical souls out there in the battlefield, and they're killing people, bombing whole areas, tens, probably even hundreds of people at a time. That's crazy. However, right now, those drones are looking very appealing. Why don't we just get drones? I'll go work in the factory. I'll go work in the factory. I'll put it together. I'll put the screw in. Yeah.
You can't have drones. I'm sorry, but you can't have drones fighting a whole war. Just a whole war from start to finish. It's not gonna help. They might be like 2%. They might be 2% of the war at max. But you can't expect them to fight the whole war.
Why not is the question? Why not is the question? Because okay, we are all in terms of this country, England, we're a tiny little island here. All of the belongings that the civilians that live in this country are in this country. If we all go and we all put in 12-hour shifts in the factory,
listen to this guy.
Making the drone. Now we've got an army of 100,000 drones. Why do we need to physically go and fly into that country ourselves? When we press the button, bam.
You sound like you got it all worked out still. Maybe they should recruit you for real.
And also, Salah, if that was ever to be the case, we'll need to start making them drones from now.
Innit?
You know what I'm saying? We can't wait.
Can't wait to the war.
Well, what I know is I'll either be in the office or the factory. I'll either be in the office or the factory. I'll give my expertise there, man.
Saleh, the chat are saying, you're going to be drinking your piss and living in Richmond Park.
Hold on. What? These are not crazy. Nah. I'll be calm anyway. I've been on keto for a while, so I won't need these cornflakes and these fizzy drinks. That you
just saying, if you're moving like Bear Grylls, you're going to be out there in the wilderness, so... You know.
Nah, I've still got certain lines I won't cross, man.
Right.
Nah, and then also, well, it depends. At the end of the day, I think I've got several different options, because if there's that one, then obviously if like the city gets abandoned and everyone's out in war, then every now and then you can pop back in and try and, see what's in the fridge.
This is some ideal war.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Imagine we're having this conversation now and we have a big explosion. That's it. We're in the game. What do you do?
Yeah.
No, but
there's no time to prepare.
The craziest thing is, that's people's reality.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, right now to speak.
I'm not gonna laugh, but that's what happens. Like you'll just be chilling, and then now your windows are broken, the floor's shaking, and you don't know where your parents are. Crazy.
Yeah, it's mad. Thank you very much, Sally, man. Appreciate the call.
No worries, man. Guys, have a fantastic...
I'm not going to lie, though. I do believe, I remember I had a dream not too long ago. It was maybe over a year ago. And I wrote it down. It just felt so vivid. And I was in Hackney. And I just remember, I think I either left my stepmom's, and I don't really... There's not a real reason for me to be in the hood. So I think I must have left my stepmom's heading home, whatever. And I just remember a plane flying over and it was getting shot at by something else. I woke up here and I had a tear in my eye and I had to I had to write down a date of it actually happening. And then I think I checked.
Sorry. You said you cried?
Yeah, because I don't know why. I woke up and I had a tear in my eye. So when I woke up, I wrote it down, and I remember seeing the plane was like it exploded. Obviously, people have gone to see close to the wreckage or whatever, and I remember seeing an American flag. I just remember seeing an American flag for some reason, and then I think when I got up, I must have Googled that where's the closest American base. It was like Norwich. From Norwich to London, bro, that's minutes. In a fighter jet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and we're talking about probably still getting my phone somewhere. I'm talking about over a year ago. So I pray.
Pray the dream's not right.
That's what I'm saying. I pray the dream's not right. But I don't know, man. With everything going on in the world, it's like it just feels like it's gearing up to that. And then for the guy to come out and say that about people changing their mentality, he can even see something coming. That's what I'm saying. And he's a general. Like, let alone, the average man and woman that are just living their life every day, not thinking nothing's gonna happen. I keep saying we are in a false sense of security because of what we see and where we are in the world. All it takes. Like, that's why a part of me, I'm not rooting for, what's his name? I'm not rooting for Biden. What's the other guy who's fighting? Trump. I'm not rooting for Trump, but what I do know is Trump has a decent relationship with
Russia.
Putin, Just what I'm saying. So I'd rather him be in place and there be peace than Biden and then
antagonizing the situation.
Just what I'm saying. Give me peace all day long.
Yeah.
So
good morning, caller.
Morning, guys. Just can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hi, my name's Chibs, by the way. Calling up about that war topic.
Yes.
Obviously heard what you guys have been talking about, what other callers and whatnot, obviously a little banter running and whatnot, but I was thinking, let me come at the angle and let's take this a little bit more seriously, where they do introduce like a sort of conscript sort of a situation. So what does that look like now? We mentioned sort of our population, right? So right now I'm assuming most of the callers, most of the audience rather, are like maybe Black, Caribbean, so on and so forth, African. So who are they really going to be targeting in terms of like, what type of propaganda would they be pushing out? Is it British? Is it multicultural propaganda? Might probably most likely be British. They'll probably be looking for a particular audience first and foremost, right? So I'm thinking, right, so cool. First and foremost, the people that do put their hands up, right, their metaphorical hands up, cool, I'm going to go, they'll probably be sort of shone a light. If these guys can go, why can't you guys go? You understand? So there'll be a division, there'll be a reason for maybe the minorities or people that are quote unquote woke or not as, shall we say, patriotic to go. You understand? Because the people over there are going. I was looking at other sort of aspects. So let's say childcare, for example, if they're talking about men and women, before wars in the past, men went because women can stay back and look after the house, family, kids, so on and so forth. But if men or women are going, somebody has to stay back and look after the kids. You can't send the kids to the countryside like they did in World War, whatever it is. You understand? I feel like with mindset as well, where 2024 people will say, oh, people are woke, you can identify as this, you can, I don't want to group mental health into this, but for the sake of this argument, let's call it that. People can use mental health to get out of things or so on and so forth, or, there's so many different things. And again, we're not thinking about what happens when people get into conflict and come out. Once the war's done in 20 years or however long it takes, the amount of people that will be affected by it mentally, I don't think people are ready to beat people in the head. You understand? People see videos of people getting rushed and screaming on Twitter or whatever the case may be. War, there's real consequences of war. You understand? And one of the things I was thinking about as well, so my background, by the way, I'm Nigerian and Igbo. So my father's brother, older brother and their dad, so my granddad and his first son were forced to join the Biafran War on the Igbo side. Do you understand? Didn't have a choice. My grandmother, so my father's mother, ran with my dad and his younger siblings when they were younger. They were too young to fight. They were under 16. And they went to her village, so not my father's village, or my granddad's village, but my grandmother's village to escape. But my granddad and my father and my oldest uncle had no choice but to join. You understand? And again, we don't know whether they were killed. We assume. I think most of us know how the battle war ended, especially for the Igbo side. So there's just a lot of different sort of elements to sort of bring when we talk about this war thing. I was thinking about what could they do to incentivize people to go to war?
Yeah.
Could there be a financial sort of benefit? For example, if you go to war, come back, there's tax breaks. It could be as silly as that. It could be maybe there's a bursary there for you, there's a pot of money there for you when you come back and you share with the other survivors.
Yeah, you're right.
With 2024, I think there's going to be different ways of incentivizing people to join this war. And
I think they do that in America. I think.
Go on.
I can't remember there was ages ago when I was in America. My cousin was basically talking to me about his friend and how his friend just came back from one of the wars. I can't remember which one it was. And basically, I think the situation is, they will handle all your student loans, all your school fees, if you basically enlist in the army. Obviously, within that time, you may not get called up if you're lucky, but there is a chance that if something does happen, you definitely will be called up because they'll be paying for your tuition. So
and realistically, a lot of people are in this day and age. A lot of people are in debt. Whether it's 5K, 10K, 100K, people are in debt, and you're going to get somebody's offering you to get that wiped clean. And again, in this case, it's conflict, so you most likely will go to conflict. But if they start now, for example, I'd start this sort of segment. You said it's in 10 years that the chief is trying to bring this in. But if they join the reserves now, and from now, as in advance, they wipe your all your debts. I'm like, do it. Like mortgage, everything. No. Obviously, not the mortgage thing, but if they're willing to wipe a lot of people's debts, credit cards, this, that, interest, everything's gone. You start clean. Credit, when you do your credit search, 999 or whatever the case may be. What?
Nah.
I think a lot more people.
You'd be surprised. I think James is right.
Again, it depends how you live. Like, again, I don't know I don't know anybody's backgrounds and why you're doing certain things, but again, a lot of people that live off of, they live, like they work a 9 to 5, for example, and they require credit, or credit is more important to them than maybe you just invoice somebody and so on, and money's sort of coming in anyhow. Like this month it might go up, this month. So there's different types of people. The way people are living is a little bit different. So I think certain people might be incentivized that way. What else was I going to say? And the fact you said 10 years, right? So the chief rather said in 10 years or
within the next 20 years.
Oh, sorry, 20 years, yeah. Right now, there's no reason NATO should be going to war with Russia off the back of right now, i.e. the Russia-Ukraine thing. Again, Ukraine is not part of NATO, you understand? So, but there must be something in play in certain rooms, maybe certain conversations are happening for Ukraine. What is the rationale behind that war that they're assuming will take place? Because if Ukraine still has no ability to join NATO, then this is a null and void conversation. There must be something that they're planning to implement and get moving that they anticipate will fall out from this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So those. I was just thinking of a few different things.
Thank you for the contribution, man. 100%. You made very good points, man. Especially that one about removing the debt. I feel like a lot of people would be incentivized that. You know what I'm saying? Because
to wipe your balance sheet clean.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine that, because many people now are trying to get homes and they're realizing decisions they made when they was 18 is messing up their credit. They can't do certain things. Imagine giving you a 999 Expedia and then
999 Expedia.
What?
Experience. Yeah, what?
I hear it.
Sorry, not Expedia. Thank you for correcting me.
I hear it.
I saw that.
What they're gonna have to roll out some crazy incentives for people to go to war. That's what I'm saying. And that what he's saying speaks to that. But then me, I'm of the mind, body, and soul. Like, it doesn't matter what you are giving me, big man. Like, as I said, I'm with Brent. Take me to jail. Like, I'll have myself in. That's what I'm saying. I ain't doing the running what Saleh was talking about doing. It's long one. How long can you run for in England? That's what I'm saying. It's be in the countryside like this is back in the day, Robin Hood times and all that's long.
But you see, sorry to cut you off, but you see what you're saying there, And I do agree with what you're saying. Everybody's entitled to how they want to act and so on and so forth and do whatever. I'll probably do what you're doing as well. However, in future generations, in 50 years, 100 years, when our actions now will be in textbooks, right? It's all a case of being on the right or wrong side of history. Right now, as we're living, we probably don't care about being on the right or wrong side of history. People that were being drafted in World War One, we don't care. They was fighting, you understand? So once that war, that assumes war ends, there will be a shift in maybe ideology. This guy, what's his criminal record? Not because he was shot, not because he didn't join the war. All of us man joined, Why didn't we join? You might be shunned in society, you understand? You might not get certain jobs because you didn't get involved in...
Hold on. So I'm trying to picture something here. So you're saying that you want to be on the right side of war, or you were going to war because you were...
Right side of history.
Not the right side of war or right side... No, exactly, right side of history. So what I mean by that is, let's say this war lasts 4 years, and it's in 20 years. So after 24 years, this war's done. So in 50 years' time, so 25 years past the war, again, most of us, you might have retired, God willing, so on and so forth. But let's say we're still working, we're still going through jobs, and still going to have certain conversations, interviews, and so on and so forth. Us out working 9 to 5, and they do a background check. Okay, no, you've got a criminal record. What's it for? Because you didn't join the war. There might be like some type of propaganda out there to be like, you know what? And I think society will shift. Those that did join the war might get preferential treatment, you understand? Because they joined the cause, they joined the fight. However, those that didn't join, it's not that people not give you jobs, but they won't give you jobs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or the jobs is just a broad aspect, but certain things won't happen to in your favor, you understand?
And even in addition to that, Chims, I think just the attitude of people as well. Like people be shunned in society, like hearing that you kind of ran away.
Let me go. I hear you made some great points there, but let me ask you this: the people that went to World War One and World War Two and Vietnam and etc., are they getting the same treatment that you are talking about now? I mean, just asking for a friend.
No, and that friend's asking big questions. But what I'm saying, once you're gone and dead, like dead and gone, like it doesn't matter. But hopefully, God willing, after this war, a lot of us still have a fair few years left.
That is a lot of hopes and maybes. That's a lot of hopes and maybes. If
the world is a hopes and maybes, I might leave work now when something happens on the bus and train, and the hopes and maybes. Like the world is so you can only just plan for the future, right? So yeah, man. But yeah, let me not hold up the lines. I'll let you guys continue. But yeah, big up yourselves, man.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Chims,
you,
man. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, cool, man. Cool.
All right, people. I think we've kind of spoken about everything, man. So yeah, I think we should move on to the headlines. The next set of headlines. All right, so our next headline takes us to South Africa. It's one you mentioned South Africa earlier, man. And the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has dropped a high-profile economist from an advisory panel as questions are being raised about her PhD. So people are faking their PhDs. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know that was possible.
Back home, anything's possible, you know?
Yeah, anything's, but yeah, for real.
But yeah, man, Thabi Leoka is a well-known commentator and economist in South Africa, serving on several boards as well as advising the government. Miss Leoka said that she said that the London School of Economics LSE awarded her a PhD, but Business Day and Daily Maverick journalists said that they have not been able to find a record of her degree. Last week, Miss Leoka denied misrepresenting her qualification. I don't know why people are going out of their way to go and try and prove this. They did this with Dr. Umar as well. And obviously they've done this with Tinubu, the president of Nigeria. But anyway, on Monday, she resigned from the boards of mining firm Anglo-American Platinum Limited and mobile phone company MTN SA, South Africa. On the same day, she was informed about the immediate termination of her membership in the Presidential Economic Advisory Council. When the BBC asked the LSE whether it had a record of Miss Leoka's doctorate, it said that we have checked our files and can find no record of Thabi, or Bathabile, which I think is her full name, Leoka, being awarded a PhD from LSE. So it looks like she did make it up. This is crazy.
How long was she in the job for?
I'm not too sure. It doesn't say. But she was in a high position.
How did you just get there by blagging it?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Shout out to her, man.
She tried. Next headline takes us to Ecuador, man, where 68 gang members in Ecuador have been arrested after they stormed the hospital in the town of Yaguachi. The men tried to overtake the facility, at which a member of their gang was receiving treatment. The aim was to guard the patient from potential attacks from any of the rivals. 68 of them, but it's not yet clear which gang was behind Sunday's storming of the Yaguachi hospital, nor who the injured man was. Nor who the injured man was. This doesn't even sound correct at all. Basically, what they're trying to say is, it's not clear which gang was behind Sunday's storming of that particular hospital, nor who that injured man they're trying to guard from, if that makes sense. They're trying to guard him from somebody, but they don't know
68 people is a lot of people. That is overkill. Mm-hmm. Well, you couldn't just have 10 now. I don't know.
But it must be a very important figure, man. But police have said that he arrived at the hospital in the early hours of Sunday with gunshot wounds and since died of those wounds, man. After securing the hospital, the security forces also raided a nearby rehabilitation centre. More than 2,700 suspects have been arrested since Mr. Noboa declared war on the gangs on the 9th of January. And our last headline takes us to Ethiopia. Some sad news, man. And famine is stalking parts of Ethiopia, man. The epicenter is in the northern Tigray region. Villagers who have not yet recovered from the ravages of the recent war in the region are now stricken by severe drought. Reports of hundreds of children dying of starvation are trickling in from remote areas. What's particularly disturbing is that this crisis is unfolding so early in the season. So the main harvest in Tigray and the neighboring Amhara is in November. So, and this is the time of the year when the food should be the most plentiful, because it's just November was just the other day. But the federal government in Addis Ababa, the capital, denies that a famine is imminent and says that it's working to provide aid. Veterans of relief operations, however, are comparing the crisis to the situation in 1984, when a combination of drought and war caused a famine that killed up to 1 million people. Ah, man.
Sad.
But that's it for the headlines, and it's time to pay the bills. And after the paying these bills, Brent, can you please introduce People's Journal?
All right. Message came in to the last caller's point. Muhammad Ali was right about not joining the Vietnam War,
Facts.
even though he was vilified at the time.
Big facts. All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. So the first thing I want to talk on is basically Jeremy Hunt, man. So there's hopes, apparently, well, he hopes anyway, for budget tax cuts. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. Hopes for budget tax cuts get a boost. Yeah, so basically he's hoping that the tax cuts that he was talking about, I believe it was like maybe a week or two ago that I kind of mentioned that it's a potential possibility, right? May actually become closer to being realized because of the recent borrowing figures, right? Basically, they came in much lower than expected. And so it's looking like, you know what, if we are going to, cut back on the taxes or whatever and try and promote some growth in this country, this is probably the best time. So data from the ONS, which is the Office for National Statistics, showed public sector net borrowing at 7.8 billion in November. So that was 8.4 billion pounds less than in the same month a year earlier, and it's the lowest in any December since 2019. So you can understand why people are kind of happy, well, at least Jeremy Hunt's happy about this. Economists have forecasted a figure above 11 billion, right, for December, but their interest payments fell by more than they actually expected. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that skewed the calculations, and we got 7.8 billion pounds net borrowing in December. So yeah, hopefully this is something that will actually mean something. What I mean by that is obviously he will actually do something, you know what I'm saying, with this information. Because at the end of the day, like, what's he got to lose? All of this stuff is innate to boost the economy in the country and ultimately to make them look better to the nation come general election time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a little too late, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? You just never know.
Every little bit helps, right?
This is it. Speaking about general election, though, Labour. See, just again, I try to be impartial. I know a lot of people may not believe that, right? But I kind of applauded, well, somewhat with one hand, Sadiq Khan the other day when he chose to freeze TfL, what do you call it, travel cards and all them type of things there till March of 2025. even though it shouldn't be that high in the first place. But still, he did the right thing. He could have allowed it to just increase. And now Rachel Reeves also, she was speaking about potentially lowering cuts. Sorry, not lowering cuts, but basically introducing some tax cuts even to the higher earners if Labour win the election, which they probably will. Now it's emerged that Labour has promised a revolution in the mortgage markets because what they're trying to do is potentially open the door to the possibility of a 25-year fixed rate mortgage. That's insane. 25 years. Now, of course, it depends on the figures, right?
Yeah.
But, and obviously, maybe just the idea of 25 years, a 25-year fixed rate, and me kind of just thinking of, imagine it was 2% on the 25 year. That's a no-brainer. Everyone in the bloody country, 2% fixing your mortgage for 25 years, it's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to introduce 25 years and start talking to us about, you know what, fix it 8.5%, bloody APR on your own, no, that's ridiculous. We don't want to hear any of this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that she's trying to introduce this to kind of, I guess, give some stability to the people who kind of feel like, you know what, anything can happen. And we've kind of seen that already in the last decade. You know what I'm saying? I remember speaking to somebody sometime last year, and he was basically didn't encounter the stuff that I encountered and many other people encountered having to renew our mortgage rates, right? And he said, you know, I fixed it for 10 years. And I was like, if somebody asked me 2 years ago to fix my mortgage for 10 years, I would just say, are you insane? Because every time I've had to redo my mortgage, I've always opted for the 2 year, the 3 year, because I'm kind of an optimist. I'm thinking like, you know what, especially now the economy seems okay. You know what, things will improve. And I've been right till the last one, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess because of how things can be volatile, this 25-year fixed rate mortgage may not be the craziest idea in the world. Again, it depends on the figures. Because if you're fixing your thing for bloody 10%, 8.5% for 25 years, then I think that's insane. But saying that also, we've just been talking about war. In a situation where there's wars and all types of crap could happen to the economy, it might not be a bad idea. Even at bloody 5-7%. Because if it goes up to like what the figures were back in the 70s and 80s, right? You'll be laughing as well. So anyway, long story short, I know I've kind of said a lot of things here and there about this, but she was basically outlining her plan at the weekend. And when I say she, I'm talking about Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves. And she pretty much said that longer fixed rate deals would enable people to buy houses with smaller deposits and with lower monthly repayments. Again, the article's being quite disingenuous because obviously it depends on the rate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just say
25 years.
It's going to be lower monthly repayments.
But you know what it is? They'll say 25 years to get people in.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, 25 years compared to what your variable rate would be, it would be lower, but obviously in the grand scheme of things, it may not be lower.
You better read that fine print.
100%. But you know what? I'm all for people, especially in economics, being creative. You know what I'm saying? And so I've always criticized Labour. One of my biggest criticisms is that Labour just seem to be very reactionary. Anything the Tories do, they respond and say it's crap. But I'm glad to see that Rachel Reeves is at least trying to be proactive and come up with some solutions. So I can't fault her on that, man. So we'll see where it actually leads us. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I wanted to speak about is Royal Mail, man. Okay, we've obviously been speaking about how this Horizon situation kind of messed up many of the postmasters and things of that nature. But apparently, Royal Mail could be allowed to deliver letters just 3 days a week.
What?
Yeah. This is under a series of options that have been outlined by the industry regulator to help the company run a sustainable service. Everyone's been complaining about
3 days a week.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. So obviously this is something that we don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah.
It may not even come into
Might
place.
not happen,
Yeah, but it's just a situation where Ofcom said its consultation document was designed to spark a national debate on the future of the UK's postal service. So this is just something they're putting out there to say, is this a viable solution to kind of help sustain Royal Mail pretty much in this country? Also, it separately announced that the cost of a second-class stamp would be capped until March of 2027. So this is to ensure an affordable option for consumers and businesses. So I don't know. I feel like since inflation is going down, people seem to be trying their best to let me not say trying their best. I can't speak for these people, but they're at least trying to put certain things in place to kind of, I don't know, just make things less volatile and allow people to kind of, you know what I mean, just deal with this cost of living crisis. You know what I mean? It's been a rough 2 years, man.
What do we get via post these days that we can't get with an email?
That's a very good point, right?
Text message with an attachment or something.
That is true. But I guess just kind of like the bank services, how even though some banks are closing down, they are still leaving certain things there because of certain people who are of a certain age group. So let's just say the 50 pluses, they still need certain things coming in. Sometimes you may still need a physical copy of something.
I hear that. But I don't see this as a big thing, to be honest. I mean, it just means you don't have, first class stamps anymore. You just know that it's going to be 2 days for a delivery.
Yeah.
You know? I don't see this as a wild thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think long term that'll definitely be the case. But again, this is a situation that it makes me think of the conversation, the back and forth I had with Ramsey the other day when he was talking about nationalization. This is sometimes what happens when you kind of put money into a particular sector to just keep them there, rather than just embracing the change in the times and saying, you know what, people, like Brent was saying, maybe better off. It may be better for the economy. It may be better for everyone's everyone's day-to-day living if another company came in and introduced another way of getting information from X, Y, Z to you in a quicker way and a cheaper way. And that could be obviously just via email. Of course, that would be potentially spamming all over the damn place, right? But still, that might be a situation where that could be a reality, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a situation with Royal Mail. And yeah, so we'll see what happens.
That's interesting, man.
Next thing I wanted to mention is eBay. eBay is looking to eliminate about 1,000 jobs, man.
Really?
Yeah, or 9% of its company's workforce.
Did you say 49?
Sorry, no. What?
I thought it said no. So you said 9%.
Yeah. So 1,000 jobs is basically equal to about 9% of their workforce. You know what I'm saying? So eBay, they said this yesterday on Tuesday. Their plans to lay off 9% of the company's workforce, which is, like I said, equal to about 1,000 full-time jobs.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, they're trying to downsize, man. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this already, but they're continuing to downsize. And yeah, man, their stock rose more than 3% in extended trading. I don't know if this made people feel a bit more bullish about them, but this is basically the situation, man. Jamie Ianon, who's the eBay CEO, told employees in a letter published on a corporate blog that the company will also scale back the number of contracts that they've given. Well, let me quote him exactly. He said, "We're going to scale back the number of contracts we have within our alternate workforce over the coming months." You know what I'm saying? He also said that the job cuts are necessary because eBay's overall headcount and expenses have outpaced the growth of the business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yes. So, well, to kind of wrap up what he said, he also said to address this, we're implementing organizational changes that align and consolidate certain teams to improve the end-to-end experience and better meet the needs of our customers around the world. Shortly, we will begin notifying those employees whose roles have been eliminated and entering into a consultation process in areas where required. So they've decided already, and unfortunately, for those 9%, they will be losing their jobs, man. I did mention this before about other companies doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Amazon, Google, Unity, they've all confirmed cuts this month. You know what I'm saying? So eBay is certainly not alone in this. But yes, that is pretty much it for the People's Journal, man. Brent, I believe we can move on to Wellness Wednesdays.
That was nice. You know, you got to let go of the pebbles in your shoes.
True indeed, man. Sit down, take some time out, take off his shoes, just pour it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's important.
Right, let's move on to the next headlines. All right, so headline takes us to America, man, where Donald Trump has won the New Hampshire primary, defeating his last remaining rival for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination.
Of course he has.
The former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Brent, before I read the rest of the article, did you know Nikki Haley's Asian?
That's what she says, yeah.
This woman looks like a white woman.
Why do you say that's what she says?
Because
You need to see it.
Can you get her up, please? I need
claiming that she knows
visual
what black people are going
verification.
Can you imagine?
through. Yeah.
She's claiming what?
She's claiming that she understands our plight.
Yes.
I think one again, you know, the social media, anything could be fake.
Yeah,
but I read
yeah.
something real brief talking about how she understands, like Brent's saying, our plight, because when she's been in a beauty pageant, she wasn't identified as white. She wasn't black.
Yeah.
She was just in the middle. So she
Limbo.
knows how to be othered, how it feels to be on the outside. You know what I'm saying? She can relate to us.
Can't wait to see what this
Yes,
girl looks like.
I did bare Googles. I was thinking, wait a minute, how?
Bare Googles.
Why is she not be identifying as white though? Because she looks like a white woman.
Asian wear. Oh my! Stop the show. What?
Yeah, it's bad.
This woman is whiter than snow. What
what
are
I'm
you
saying
talking
to you.
about? She's from the mountain of man.
The Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, straight from there.
But you know what? Unless Brent, it might be a case of adoption. Because when I did go a bit further in my Googles, I saw her parents, and her parents look like
They could
Asian
be-
people. You
yeah.
know, like her dad, I believe, is Sikh.
Does
or
that not
something.
make her Asian?
Why
If she's
not?
adopted.
No, that's what I'm saying. It could be that. You know what I'm saying? But based on what she's saying, her parents are Asians.
She's taking a piss.
You know, obviously she's married a white man, I believe. I could be wrong.
He could be Indian too.
Like he could
Or
be
Turkish.
It could be something else, yeah. But she changed her name, Nikki Haley. Well, Haley, I guess is his surname, innit? You know,
Yeah.
she's married. But it doesn't seem like there's any. I don't get.
I don't
no
see
Asian from her.
any. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't see anything in her that remotely says that she could be Asian.
You know what I'm saying? But
Is that her parents there?
Yeah. You know what I mean? The man and the woman. Her parents, respectfully, are Asian.
Nah, man. She might be adopted on a low.
You know what I mean? But again, we could be being unfair. You know what I'm saying? She's just light skinned. I don't know. And obviously, she's combing her hair and moving in circles where most Asians do not go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But this is her family. This is her, man.
Nah, something. We're missing something. No, we must be, because like, if you look at her, she looks.
She could pass for an Indian man.
She actually could. Yeah, the more I look at her, but then like when I first see her, I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
exactly.
she looks stone cold.
Like a white woman.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
And then you see her with her family, but the picture's a bit older type thing.
Yeah. But yeah, man, just taking her word for it, she is indeed Indian, man. So it's between her and Trump. But Trump's victory means the race for the nomination is all but over. Even if Miss Nikki Haley, you can see on the screen, is not yet ready to end her campaign. A fact that clearly irked the former president on what was otherwise an evening of celebration.
Sorry. As I said, I'd rather Trump win
Boy,
and we have peace. So,
we'll see,
you
man.
know,
There's millions of blacks in America that will disagree with you, man. You know what I'm saying?
what? And they want Biden to what? Just keep agitating and poking the bear.
But I mean, in that particular area, they might just say, you know, we want peace. But in other areas of life, they're saying no, they don't want Trump. They hate Trump. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Trump was speaking, and he said she's doing a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost. Those are his words, right? Although Mr. Trump's victory in New Hampshire did not match the 20-point margin that was predicted by recent polls, it should be more than enough to maintain the current direction of the race. He won by a landslide in the first contest in Iowa, and the upcoming states on the Republican primary calendar tilt more heavily in his favor than New Hampshire, suggesting his march towards the nomination will soon become a stampede. Yeah,
Trump
man,
is
it's
funny,
crazy, man. With each passing vote, the truth becomes increasingly clear. As polls for many months have shown, the Republican Party is still Donald Trump's party, man. That's what it's looking like. So unless they can get him out of there via the courts, it looks like he's going to be representing the Republican Party. But again, obviously, it's too soon to say it, so we'll see. Next headline takes us to South Africa. Trigger warning here, guys, man. Big trigger warning. A man was arrested on Tuesday yesterday after he claimed responsibility for starting a building fire in South Africa last year that killed 76 people. Yep. While trying to get rid of the body of someone he had strangled in the basement. Can you imagine? One person, he was trying to, obliterate that person's body. He ended up burning the building down and 76 people died.
Yeah, they got to bury him under the jail, man.
It's a damn shame, man. The confession came when he was testifying at an ongoing inquiry into the causes of the fire in August in downtown Johannesburg. The 29-year-old man, whose identity wasn't disclosed, has said that he had killed a man on the night of the fire by beating him and strangling him. He said that he then poured gasoline on the man's body and set it alight with a match. He testified that he was a drug user and was told to kill the man by a drug dealer who lived in the building. The man is facing 76 counts of murder, 120 counts of attempted murder, and a charge of arson. The city of Johannesburg owned the building, but it had been taken over by illegal landlords who were renting out the space to hundreds of poor people who were desperate for somewhere to live. And many of the building's occupants were immigrants suspected of being in South Africa illegally. Sad, man.
Yeah, he's done.
And last headline. Remember Mare Street, yeah? You know, under the bridge, right near Hackney Central.
Yeah.
Remember what shop used to be there where JD is today?
Woolworths.
Woolworths coming back, man.
Why? What? What do you mean?
Say what?
There was a whole song and dance about them leaving, and we were shocked and like, Woolworths, no way. Remember they had one in Bethnal Green and all sorts. What do you mean coming back?
Hey,
we don't need them back.
This is what it's saying, man. Once loved, for those who don't know, once loved for its pick and mix sweets and bargain prices.
The pick and mix was wild.
Woolworths stores could return to the UK, man. In 2009, when its British shops closed after the financial crisis, the brand in Germany, where it's known as Woolworth, was saved by H.H. Holden. Current H.H. Holden chief, Roman Heine, says the UK is on his bucket list of destinations as he seeks to expand internationally. It comes as Wilko, we spoke about this many times, I believe last year, which filled the gap left by Woolworths, collapsed in 2023.
Yeah, I remember. I was thinking, what other place was been going for a while and collapsed?
Exactly.
It was Woolco's.
But re-entry will not be without its challenges, obviously. Disruption to supply chains because of attacks by Houthi rebels, again, we were speaking about this, in one of the world's busiest trade routes in the Red Sea, plus post-pandemic turmoil, were two of the issues that Mr. Heine cited, you know what I'm saying, that could obviously disrupt bringing Woolworths back to the UK. However, as the collapse of Wilko left some people feeling nostalgic for Woolworths, the firm feels that it would be welcome in the UK, man. Woolworths has more than 600 shops, with a majority in Germany, but some are in Austria and also in Poland.
Hold on, you said they closed in 2009.
Yes.
You man been gone for over 10 years and
It's crazy.
they're trying to make I heard the comeback, innit? Great, everyone loves a comeback and all that, innit? But like, brother, it's been 10 years, man.
More than that.
So I mean, what made you...
But if they come back bigger and better, isn't that a good thing?
100%, but what, like, why now?
Because Wilko's gone. So they're thinking, ooh, there's a gap. We can come back.
We say, ooh.
You know what
We
I'm
say,
saying?
ooh. We might be able to get in.
Yeah.
Woolworths, you know. That store was epic.
telling
Mare
you.
Street.
I'm
For all
telling
the,
you.
if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. Mare Street, Woolworths.
Yep.
And they had the big head security guard. Man, we used to call this guy headmaster. Like, his head was big. He'd just be there watching you know. These times he's just trying to get two sweets out the building. We needed a decoy. We had a man in the back doing some stupidness. And we'd do something on the front and then, he goes to the man in the back. We
Take it.
we're out there,
Same.
man. That shop was the
a
one,
legendary
man.
store, man.
Legendary store, hey.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the headlines. It's time to pay the bills. And
Brett done that yesterday as well. He done that yesterday as well. I swear someone was on the phone or something. And he just,
time to go. Pew.
yeah.
But yeah, man, welcome to the reaction, guys. Obviously, for those who don't know, who have been living under a rock, this is the part of the show where we talk about sports. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Afcon is going on. You know what I'm saying? There were 4 games yesterday. I just want to say the scores, man. Cameroon beat Gambia 3-2.
Go on.
Do you see that?
No, I didn't watch no games yesterday.
Brent, you see it? Or highlights?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game, right? I saw the highlights last night. Senegal beat Guinea 2-0. Angola beat Burkina 2-0.
Burkina Faso.
And Mauritania beat Algeria 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, those games weren't really appealing to me for some reason. I should have watched the Cameroon one, but I was tired, man.
Look at the highlights of that one. That one was crazy.
I saw someone sent me a clip here where the keeper is the ball's going out towards, I don't know, the left or something, and for some reason he's put his hand out, but it looks like it's a handball. But there's no reason for him to be diving over there. He could have just kicked it out. Like he could have. In fact, I'm going to send Brent.
Was that what from yesterday's game?
Yeah, yesterday's game. It's one of the games. I don't know what game it was.
There was definitely a handball that basically would have made it 3-3, and this was from a Gambian player.
But was it okay? No, this someone sent me this clip. I saw this clip. I was crying. It was like an unnecessary dive. Like there's not actually anyone next to him as well. Brent, where shall I send this to you?
Email, please.
Email. Okay. Listen, I was saying earlier on, yeah, that basically, man, love the World Cup and European Championship, or whatever, but Ofcom is basically entertainment all day long. Like you can't beat that, as far as I'm concerned.
Whilst you're getting that, just want to mention also there was a Carabao Cup game yesterday as well, man. And Chelsea, this was the second leg. Chelsea banged over Middlesbrough, man.
Yeah,
6-1.
So it was 4-0 at half time.
Ridiculous. 6-2 on aggregate, man. But like you said,
slapped them.
4-0 at half time, man. Chelsea blew away Middlesbrough with a rampant first half display to record a 6-2 aggregate victory and clinch their place against either Liverpool or Fulham in the Carabao Cup final. Middlesbrough stunned the Blues with a 1-0 win at the Riverside Stadium in the first leg, and obviously has genuine ambitions of becoming the first EFL side to eliminate Premier League opposition in the semi-finals since Bradford did it 11 years ago against Aston Villa. But Chelsea snuffed out them hopes ASAPity, you know what I'm saying, before half-time, thanks to
ASAPity.
thanks to an own goal, plus strikes by Fernandez, is it Axel Disasi?
Yeah.
And Cole Palmer. Like you said, it was 4-0 at half-time. The latter two of those 4 goals came after Borough were caught playing out from the back, and that pattern continued in the second half with errors by Michael Carrick's team, punished by Palmer and Madueke.
You got beat up, man.
Morgan Rogers added a late consolation goal for Borough, but obviously meant nothing. Amid an inconsistent campaign, Chelsea have now won 5 of their last 6 matches, man, while their supporters can look forward to a trip to Wembley on February the 25th, as Pochettino looks to win silverware in his first season at the club. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Chelsea, they're doing their thing, man.
I mean, it's Middlesbrough. You can only beat who?
Yeah, but it's still 5 wins from the last 6. You know what I'm saying? So they're, you know what I mean? All you could do is win against your competition.
To be fair, if they get a trophy,
this is it.
Nah, that's not the one I saw. I'm trying to.
In normal play, yeah, that looked like a serious header. But this guy forgot VAR.
Hey, what's it called? Is no, man. You can't beat it. I don't care what anyone says. Brent, why is the email not coming out, man? What's going on there?
And he could have used his head though.
I know.
Oh man, you messed
I
up.
just
man.
chose not to. You know, I said nope. Said nope, not today.
Also, speaking Afcon as well, Ghana have sacked their coach, man, Chris Hughton. Remember Chris Hughton back in the day?
Yeah. Brighton manager. Where Brighton weren't shit.
Yeah, man. Obviously, they got kicked out in the group stages, man.
I feel for him, man. Like, well, kind of, but like they were onto him. Didn't they try and move to him at the what's it called?
Oh, was it?
After the first loss. They come to the hotel and all that. There's a video. Someone sent me. There's a video of these men wilding out in the hotel. And obviously, I don't know where Chris Hughton is, but security are trying to keep everything calm and collective and all that. But yeah, I'm glad they're out, man. Shout out you Ghanaians and that, man. I hope you're suffering this morning. Do you know what I mean? You woke up in pain and and you look into the heavens asking God why, and God ain't got no answers for you. I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. For those who don't know, the Black Stars, Ghana, they finished on 2 points in Group B.
That is banter.
Drawing 2-2 with both Egypt and Mozambique.
I don't care what anyone says. 2 points.
Yeah, man. And
That was
like,
Nigeria, or would they be onto us?
And like you said, Rich, they lost their first game, innit? That was against Cape Verde, which nobody...
Cape Verde,
which nobody was expecting.
I'll be honest with you, yeah. I got like a stepsister that's in Cape Verde now. I didn't know they had a football team.
That's what I'm saying.
I just saw Cape Verde. I saw Cape Verde on the top left. I said,
Yeah,
Ghana's playing who? Bro, these men got a team. I could probably get out there and play them.
Yeah, probably. It's probably made up of... They had to probably do mobilization,
Yeah,
conscription.
yeah. They're probably made up of a band of fishers.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, man, they beat Ghana 2-1, man, in the opener.
Ghana's trash, man.
Ghana had distant hopes of progressing as one of 4 best ranked third place sides, but were eliminated on Tuesday when the results went against them. Hughton had been appointed as Ghana's head coach in February last year, right? And the GFA, they released a statement. GFA is Ghana Football Association. They pretty much said Chris Hughton has been relieved of his duties with immediate effect.
That's rough, man.
The Executive Council has
rough,
also taken a decision to dissolve the technical team of the Black Stars. The GFA will, in the next coming days, provide a roadmap on the future direction of the Black Stars.
A roadmap?
Yeah, man. They've dissolved everything. They want everything to... They just want to build from the ground up again. So yeah, man, the former Newcastle United and Brighton boss Hughton began working as a technical advisor for the 4-time continental champions Ghana in February of 2022. And he replaced Otto Addo as the boss after Addo stepped down following the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, where Ghana finished the bottom of Group H with 1 win from those 3 games that they played. So Ghana, it does look like, obviously, based on those last 2 tournaments, they obviously need to do something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
This man are terrible. Brent, so to email me, please, because I can't find your email's not coming up for some reason.
Brent.
Hold on.
Dot. Call thrust.
Can't spell that, but
COLTHRUST.
COLTHRUST
at gmail.com.
Nobody spam Brent, please. But yes, whilst Rich is getting that ready, yeah, that's pretty much all that happened, man. Our Afcon correspondent will be with us tomorrow to give us a bit more information on the games. And yeah, man, look forward to that, man. But
you idiot!
Happened.
I went .con.
Thinking of Afcon.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But yeah. Okay, Brent, let's go into the outro. All right, people. Hopefully Rich gets that to Brent. So we can play that before we leave.
You say THRUST.
Call thrust.
Yes. But thank you guys for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for calling up as well. Chims, Black Rob, Saleh, of course. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. And tomorrow, obviously, we've got our queen back in the building. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we've definitely got a good show tomorrow, man. Richie, you with us tomorrow?
More than likely.
Beautiful.
What's tomorrow?
Man.
Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, the days just fly by sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
just
100%,
got to double check what day it is. Yeah, I just sent you that. Hopefully you get...
You never spoke about the consequences of having all the men sent to war and dying, because that mutiny might be...
That's what I'm saying.
Might be up.
Some of us got to stay back.
Someone's got to stay back. It's a lucky man that stays back.
You know what I'm saying? Got to look after everybody else.
So, I mean, he's got to look after a lot of people. Might be impregnating people up and down England. So, I mean,
it would have to be. It was by force, compulsory.
Literally,
You know what I
subscription.
This is it.
Like, imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer to let me stay back. You man, you man, go do the war thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay back. I'm gonna make sure everything's okay here. Do you know what I mean? And then, yeah. Brent, did you get that?
Yeah, but it's like an MP4 file.
What?
This is what you wanted. Let me see if this works.
I can't. Why is that? Someone sent it to.
Sorry, is he really outside the box?
He's that's outside. That is entertainment.
I know he drops outside the box.
Yeah, but
That is I don't care. What man say? Hey, I don't know. Come on, man. You could have just headed it.
Nah, but this is inside the box.
I don't know, man.
Look at where it is.
I don't know. But so why is he pretending like he's moving like he's hit it with his head?
Just in case.
Or he's trying to show people that he's hit it with his head, but he definitely ain't hit it with his head because we can see he slapped it out because he's concerned that it might be outside the box. That's funny, man. That is hilarious. No, I don't want all the women to myself. That's impossible. I'm just saying, innit? Someone's got to stay home and take care of the yard. Do you know what I mean? The business. All you man might want to be going over there and doing the killings and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Me and Brent will be in the jailhouse, etc. I ain't doing it. I'm just that's all. Yeah.
well, once again, man, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you to the researchers, of course, you know what I'm saying, for a great show. Listeners, follow us on all social media platforms. You already know what it is, at the day after, TNB, Instagram, Twitter, everything, basically.
All of
TikTok,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Send your voice notes, text messages to 07564 841 073. Topic of the day suggestions, you know what I'm saying? Email the day after at thenewblack.com or email me, Emmanuel at thenewblack.com. But you still looking for someone editor?
I wasn't looking for one in the first place.
Well, obviously not you personally, but I mean, obviously Esther put the call out. Has anybody basically responded?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we don't need to ask for anybody else. Basically, if you got the expertise, if you listen to the show, obviously a big requirement is that you listen to the show. And if you believe like you can contribute in some way, man, go to editing, putting out them clips that Brent usually does. You know what I'm saying? Brent's got a lot on his table. You know what I'm saying? A lot on his plate. So he can't be doing the clips every single day.
Can't do the orchestra
You know what I'm
thing.
saying? As much as, you know what I mean, he would like to. Yes. Shout us, basically. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Same time, same place, 8 a.m. Peace.
Peace.